All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show, Thursday, December 1st, 2022. Hard to believe it's already December. This year's flown by. Got a big show today. We're going to go through today's slate of games, give out some picks for tonight's games. Got Thursday night football, big game between the Bills and Patriots, a division game. Got some college basketball. There's only one NBA game tonight. That's kind of strange, but we'll talk about that. Then also, since there's not going to be a show on Friday, we'll talk about maybe some picks for Friday, but also to Saturday football, and then of course NFL on Sunday. We're going to go ahead and give out our picks because we'll be on the road tomorrow and won't be able to do a show. But I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by my dad Tony Gonzalez. How's it going?
Doing pretty
There you
good.
go.
Okay, there
My
we go.
bad.
Hey, one thing real quick before we get started. I just seen where, and I've been hearing a lot of speculation that a lot of people think the Colts are going to go after uh, this quarterback from Kentucky, Levis.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's coming out for sure now, and a lot of people are putting the Colts with him. What do you think about him?
I wouldn't be real mad, but I don't know if he's. I don't know if he's much better than. I don't know if he'd be better than Ellinger. I mean, we got a young guy in Ellinger, and I'm not sure. I'd have to do a little more research on Levis. I haven't seen him play. The guy I'm real high on, which you knew was Hooker, which he's hurt, but the other guy, which he won't be out this year, is at May from North Carolina. Drake May, I really like him as well.
I'm curious about that.
But I'm gonna do some more research on that
I'm-
Kentucky guy.
Starting to get intrigued with this USC. quarterback.
Williams, that Caleb Williams.
Yes.
I think he's going to be the Heisman winner this year.
Yeah. But he can't come out yet, right?
No, Williams, that Caleb Williams.
I think he's gonna be one other thing, also before we start, I just seen that. I don't know if you've seen it or not. They announced that the running back from Michigan's out for the season.
Yeah. I saw that just a few minutes ago while we were doing the afternoon show. I don't think it affects Michigan much for this weekend because I didn't think they were going to play him against Purdue anyway. But I really do think it's going to affect them in the college football playoffs.
Well, at least they have some time. I mean, and that one running back, even though it was late in the game, did look pretty good.
Oh, he took over. Edwards took over in the second half.
So, maybe, I mean, at least they've got some time to get prepared.
And that's what Jay said on the afternoon show. He said with Edwards, they might not miss Corum as much. Well, I think you're still going to miss Corum just because how good he is. But you do. It is nice that you do have another running back like Edwards that's capable, and he showed he was capable. It wasn't like he was running against a slouch team. He showed he was capable against Ohio State, which I still think I think Ohio State should be in. I know they lost one game, but I still think they should be right up there in the top 4. I know the only way they're going to get in now is if USC loses or TCU loses. But I mean, I still think they're one of the 4 best teams in college football. I really do.
I do too.
So to me, it kind of sucks that they might not get in.
A friend of mine that I used to work with, big Alabama fan, got on there on Facebook the other night and was bitching how could Ohio State be 5 and Alabama be 6. Didn't think it was fair, and he said the only good win that Ohio State had was Notre Dame, who had lost 4 games. And I got on there and said, you guys beat Texas. And also you're forgetting that they beat 8th ranked Penn State. Also.
Who you guys want to say who's Alabama's good wins?
South Carolina and Texas. They're the best 2 wins.
Yeah.
I think South Carolina's lost 3 or 4 games, if I remember correctly. And Texas lost 3 or 4 games. So, and Notre Dame is ranked higher, I know, than Texas. I think they were ranked higher in South Carolina. At least they were most of the season. I don't know if they still are. And I know Penn State's ranked higher than all of them because they're 8th ranked.
Yeah. No, Ohio State, in my opinion, I know people don't like this. I think they should be 4, but I'm okay with them. I'm not going to bitch about them being 5, but I think they should be 4.
I think USC has enough wins. I think the team that don't maybe would be TCU. And I know people can get mad about that.
That's the team I was saying. I think Ohio State should be in over TCU. That's my opinion. I know
especially since if USC can avenge, if they win the conference championship and avenge their loss to Utah, which was but 1 point, and avenge that, I don't see any way you can take USC out. TCU would be the one that,
I understand they're undefeated, and people say they deserve to be there because they're undefeated,
and they did beat.
and that's why I'm not bitching a whole lot about it. But just my personal opinion, I think Ohio State should be in the top 4 over TCU. I think TCU at the 3 seed. I think Michigan beats them, and if they ended up with the 4 seed, I think Georgia's going to beat them. I just don't think they have the defense that are going to be able to handle them top teams. And nothing against TCU, they've had a great season. And we'll see about this more now that the college football playoffs are going to be expanding. Did you see that last night that they got over the final hurdle? Yeah. They came into agreement with the Rose Bowl.
Not next season, but the season after.
Yeah, it's going to start 24-25 seasons. So we got one more season of the current format. And then,
I like it. I mean, I thought 8 teams was fine.
Yeah, I was hoping for 8, but hey, you're going with 12. It gives more people opportunities.
Yeah,
and I think, and honestly, like I said earlier, before we get into this, is I think it could help parity in college football because now some of these other teams they can recruit because you got the NIL for one where they can make money. Then you can recruit and say, hey, you can come here. It might be a little bit smaller college, but you get to play instead of sitting behind guys, and you still have a chance to make it to the college football playoffs and play on a national stage.
Teams that have made the top 25, say they've made it, 20, 20, 20. It's not that far of a leap to get to 12. It's a lot farther leap to get to top 4.
Yeah.
And it gives them an opportunity to play. And sometimes a team could just be a bad matchup for a team. You could get a team that's 20th in the country could end up playing the 4th ranked team in the country and be a bad matchup and beat them.
Yeah, I think it helps a college like, let's say, Cincinnati, for example. It'll help them in recruiting. I think it's going to help them. Some of them non-Power 5 conference teams recruit some of these better players because you still have a chance to play.
For example, TCU goes undefeated all year, lose this game, they would still be in the top 12.
Yeah,
even though they lost.
If they lose to Kansas State, they're going to be out.
Yeah, if there was a 12, they would be in there. So I mean,
I was hoping. Like I said, I thought 8 would have been the number, but hey, the way they're doing it though, I like. They got 12 teams. They're giving the top 4 teams a bye, and then so 12 will play 5, 11 play 6. And so on.
I don't think that's a bad system. I don't. I think it's good. They're going to make a lot of money. I think it's better for the game.
It's better than 4 teams.
Yes,
and it's better than what we used to have when we went by a damn computer.
1, 2, yeah. Oh, definitely.
Back in the day, remember that when it went by the computer power ranking crap?
Yeah,
hey, what's going on, Dre Montez? Thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate the support. But tonight got a big Thursday night football game. We'll start there.
How'd you do on your picks?
Oh yeah, let's start there first.
I was 4 and 5.
I had a good night last night.
I was lousy.
I was 8 and 3. 1, 2, 3,
4 and 5.
4, 5, 6. No, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3. I was in the NBA last night. I went 3 and 1. Only game I lost last night. I had the Grizzlies beating the Timberwolves. Grizzlies lost. Or no, excuse me. I was 1, 2, 3, 4 and 2 in the NBA. Okay. I lost the Grizzlies and then the Pacers. Pacers got blew out last night by the Kings. In college basketball last night, I was 3 and 1. I had Purdue. Purdue won the game, but they didn't cover. They won by 10, and the spread was 16.5. But Duke covered. IU covered, and Notre Dame killed Michigan State. Notre Dame killed Michigan State.
That surprised me.
So I was 3 and 1 in college basketball and 4 and 2 in NBA last night. So I had a pretty good night last night with my picks. But in Thursday night football tonight, got a big divisional matchup. I think it's going to be a fun. Should be a fun game to watch tonight.
What's the point spread now? I've seen 2 different ones, and you got a different one than I have.
All I'm getting ready to tell you right now. You got the Bills at the Patriots. Bills are 3.5 point favorites.
See, I seen one that was 4.5, and I seen one that was 6.5.
Yeah, it's a 3.5 on FanDuel. It's 3.5. That's what the app I usually look on when we do the show. So it's 3.5. Bills are minus 198 in the money line. Patriots are plus 166 on the money line. Over unders at 43.5. I like the Bills at the minus 3.5. I don't think the Patriots are going to be able to score enough points to keep up with the Bills. I know the Bills have some injuries. Von Miller's not playing. They do have a lot of injuries on their defense, but and New England has a pretty good defense. I just don't think their offense is going to be able to keep up with the Bills. I actually, and also I like the over the 43.5. Patriots average about 21 points a game, and the Bills average close to 30 points a game. So I think there's a good chance that they go over to 43.5. So I do think with the depleted Bills defense, I do think the Patriots will score some points. I just don't think they're going to be able to score enough. So I like the Bills tonight.
Yeah, I like the Bills too at the -3.5. I agree.
And that's and we talked about it a little bit yesterday, and we'll talk about it more because we're going to go through we're going to go through our NFL picks for Sunday as well. But this week's a big week in NFL because there's so many divisional games.
Yep.
It's going to be a fun week to watch. I know we're not going to get to watch a whole lot on Sunday because we got wrestling shows, but we'll be keeping track of it. And then Sunday night we got the big Colts game, so we'll be doing a watch along for the Colts and Cowboys. And our friend Jay McLovin is going to be joining us for that, so we know that's going to be a good time. Yep. Hell, I had a good time with him when it was Colts and Steelers, and he didn't have a team in the battle, and he was going crazy.
He went crazy.
I could just imagine if the Colts start beating the Cowboys. Hell, we might get kicked off air. That's a good. Hey, it's good that it's probably good we're not on radio. If
yeah.
Hold on. I'm trying to get back to there it goes. All right, NBA tonight. There's only one game in the NBA tonight. You got the Dallas Mavericks at the Detroit Pistons. The Mavericks are 8-point favorites, -330 on the money line. Pistons are +265 on the money line. Over/under is 221. I like the Mavericks at the -8. Luka Doncic's been on a tear. I think right now he's the front runner for MVP. Honestly, I think he's making the case that he's the best player in the game right now. I really do. He got in a little bit better shape this year, and he's always been good. But he's really putting up some numbers. He had 51 the other night, or 50-something points the other night. I know Booker's been playing well, been playing good as well. I'd say Booker's probably up there in the MVP conversation. It was cool to see an Indiana Pacer up there in the MVP conversation with Halliburton.
Yeah, have him like number 5.
Yeah,
top 5 list.
Hey, Halliburton. I mean, last 3 games over 40 assists, no turnovers. I don't know what happened last night. I watched a little bit of the game, but they were getting killed. And we had an interview last night. And real quick, if you missed that interview last night with pro wrestler Blake Money Wright, go check it out. You can find it on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch pages, and actually on Twitter as well. It was a great conversation last night with Blake Money Wright. And then this morning we had another great interview with the marvelous Mr. Bell, Curator Bell, Hypocrisy Jones.
Yeah, they've got many names.
whatever you want to call him. He's part of the In Your House podcast. That's been, I mean, they're up there in the top 100 on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. The other host was just interviewed on PWI, Pro Wrestling Illustrated. So, I mean, they got a great thing going on over there. I had a great conversation with him today. So go check that out as well. I promise you won't be disappointed in either one of them 2 interviews. Both of them were great conversations. And looking forward to seeing both them guys. We'll see Blake tomorrow night, and we'll see the marvelous Mr. Bell here in just a couple weeks at a Big Thunder Blunder event put on by another one of our friends. So Walt Beasley's put together a hell of a card. So that's going to be a great show. That's all the NBA for tonight. College basketball. Well, did you have any NFL or NBA for tonight?
I didn't do any. Well, I'm taking Buffalo -3.5 for tonight. I didn't do any NBA, but I did do we'll go ahead before we go to the football, college and NFL for the weekend. I've got a Thursday night NHL parlay.
Okay, for hockey. Okay,
yeah, for hockey.
Yep.
I've got the Colorado Avalanche moneyline win at the Buffalo Sabres. I've got the Tampa Bay Lightning moneyline win at the Philadelphia Flyers, and then I have the Vegas Golden Knights at the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I'll take the Vegas moneyline win in that
one. All right, a little bit of college basketball for tonight. I like Kansas at the -10.5 against Seton Hall. And see if I can find it's always on the way the FanDuel does college basketball. Sometimes it's hard to find all the games. I was just going to see what Kansas was ranked. I can't remember what they're ranked off the top of my head, but I like Kansas minus 10.5 against Seton Hall. I like Connecticut minus 8.5 against Oklahoma State. UConn's ranked 8th in the nation. They're at home. I think they're going to be able to handle Oklahoma State. I also like Texas minus 6.5 against Creighton, and UCLA minus 6.5 against Stanford. That's my college basketball for tonight on Thursday. Did you have any college basketball?
No, not tonight.
They do no college today. That's all the Thursday stuff. Which we'll go back. We'll go back and give our picks of the day on that. Friday NBA. There's only like 5 games. I like the Nuggets on the money line, and I like the Brooklyn Nets on the money line. Nuggets are playing the Hawks, and the Nets are at home versus the Raptors. That's for Friday NBA, and then I do have one other Friday pick, college football. I like USC minus the 2.5 against Utah.
Yeah,
I think USC is going to avenge their one loss on the season.
Yeah, I've got that also.
You want to go to Saturday football or you want to go to NFL?
When we do Saturday football.
Okay. Okay, Saturday football. Let me pull it up here. I like TCU minus 2.5 against Kansas State. I think TCU is going to get that big win and make it to the playoffs. I like Michigan at the minus 16.5 against Purdue. I just don't think Purdue's defense is going to be able to hold up enough. I like North Carolina plus 7.5 against Clemson. Which, I really like that North Carolina quarterback. I know that Clemson's ranked 10th. North Carolina's ranked 24th. Clemson has been real inconsistent on the season. So I like North Carolina. And then my other pick is LSU and Georgia over the 51. Is my other pick for college football on Saturday.
Okay, my college football for Saturday. I've got Toledo at Ohio. I'm going to take Ohio moneyline win. Then I'm going to take Kansas State plus the 2.5 against TCU. Kansas State kind of blew that last game against TCU. They was up 11 points at half.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go for the upset.
I ain't gonna lie. Out of all my college picks on Saturday, that's the one I worry about the most because I almost took Kansas State plus the 2.5. I was back and forth on that one. That was when I was most reluctant about. The rest of them I feel pretty good about.
I've got Tulane minus 4. I got Central Florida at Tulane. I'm taking Tulane minus 4. I'm going to take LSU plus 18.5 at Georgia. I'm going to take the points. That's a lot of points. I think this is LSU's. I mean, some people would say if they win the thing that they deserve to be in the playoffs. I don't, but if you beat Georgia and Alabama in the same season, an argument could be made.
Yeah.
So it's their season.
I don't think
definitely if they beat them, they're going to get a big bowl game.
Yeah, I don't think they should, but it wouldn't surprise me if they end up in there if they win that game.
But they'll get a huge bowl game if they beat them at the very least. So I'm going to take the plus 18.5, and then my last one I've got Purdue at Michigan. I'm going to take Michigan minus 16.5.
Yeah, I got that as well. I don't think Purdue's are going to be able to score enough points against that. Michigan defense, and I don't think Purdue's defense is going to be able to hold up against that Michigan run game.
I don't either.
I know Corum's not there, but Edwards is still a pretty good back.
16.5 is a lot of points, but I'm going to go with Michigan.
Then NFL Sunday games. I like I'm going to take the Houston Texans plus 7 against the Cleveland Browns.
I'm going opposite.
I know the Texans haven't been playing well, but Browns are going to be starting a quarterback that hasn't played in over 700 days. It's going to be interesting to see how he looks. He's going back to Houston. Houston's going to be fired up because he was on that team. He demanded a trade. I think it's going to be a close game. And if you look at the Texans, they don't have a great record, but they've competed in a lot of games.
They have, but the last couple they've not played very well.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna go Texans plus 7 just because I think they're gonna be fired up for this game with the return of Watson and all the media and everything that's going to be going around. And I'm I mean, how rusty is Watson going to be? You haven't played, like I said, over 700 days. And not just that, your body's not calloused. So he's not used to getting hits. You know what I mean? He's not used to getting hit. So his body ain't used to it for the last couple of years. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I'm going to take Texans at the +7. See, Anthony Price. Do you gamble more on the under or over or on the money line? I probably do more on the money line than I do over under. I do some over under sometimes. Like LSU and Georgia, I'm taking the over the 51 points in that game. And there's also an NFL game I'm going to take it under. But a lot of times I either go on the spread, and now I'll go on the money line when I go on the money line is if I can get better odds on the money line than on the spread, and if I think that team is going to win. But a lot of times I go on the spread. My next game is actually, or my next pick for the NFL is actually an under Broncos and Ravens under 39.5. I think that's going to be a low scoring game. Broncos offense is terrible, but they have a good defense.
Yeah, they do.
I think it's going to be a low scoring game. So I like the under 39.5 in that game. I'm going to take the Falcons, Steelers and Falcons. It's in Atlanta. I'm going to take the Falcons at the actually, let me check on that and see if that's still. I'm actually going to take the Falcons on the money line because it's +1.5, and you get better odds if you go money line. So Falcons are the underdog in that game. I think they have the better offense. Steelers have a good defense, but hell, the Colts should have beat the Steelers. Colts played one good quarter. I think, and the Falcons have been playing better football. And I like and then you got next game is going to be the Titans at the Eagles. I like the Titans at the +4.5.
It's 4.5 now. Okay, it was 5.5. So.
Let's see. I mean, that's what it was. Yeah, still +4.5 or +190 on the money line. I also kind of like the under the 44.5 in this game as well. Titans have a real good defense. So I can see I think this could be a low scoring game. But I like the Titans at the +4.5. I think Titans have a good chance of winning the game. But even if they don't win, I think it's going to be a real close game because of that defense. And if the Titans can get Derrick Henry going, if he can run and they can control the time of possession, that's how the Colts was in the game real close. That's how the Commanders beat the Eagles.
Yep.
I mean, that Eagles defense struggles against that run if you can control that clock. And in my last NFL pick, Colts Cowboys. I'm taking the Colts at the +10.5. Colts might not win the game, but I think it'll be a close game. Colts have only got blown out once this season, and that was second game of the season.
Yep.
Rest of the games have been real close. And if you look at the Colts schedule, they have played better against the better teams, and it's like they play down to their competition. I mean, we beat the Chiefs, almost beat the Eagles, and then we play teams like the Steelers and some of the other teams that you think we would beat, and then it's like we play to their level. So I think that's going to be a closer game than what people think.
Yeah, I agree.
What you got for NFL?
Okay, I got Cleveland. I'm taking Cleveland -7 against Houston. Houston's just played terrible lately. Jets at Minnesota. I've got Minnesota -3.
Yep.
And then I've got the Titans. You said that went to +4.5.
Yep.
At the Eagles, and then I've got the Chargers. What I had that at is -1.5 at the Raiders.
It's actually at -1.
-1. Okay.
And you get that at -106 at the -1, or on the money line, it's -108. They basically have that game as a pick 'em.
Really?
Yep. Yep, they have that because Raiders are -108 on the money line as well. So that game's basically a pick 'em. I like the Chargers in that. I like that pick. I like the Chargers in that game as well.
Too.
Raiders haven't been playing good ball. Was that all your NFL?
Yeah, and I tell you, a team that the Titans are a team, and I know they blew a game last week, but the Titans are a team that I don't think teams are going to want to play in the playoffs because of their style, because they try to run the football. And we was talking about teams that could be looking for a starting quarterback and stuff like that. That Tennessee, Tannehill's not terrible, but they could be if they could we was talking about, like if Aaron Rodgers was the left,
Yep.
that would be a team that would be interested in Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Tennessee in a heartbeat.
And to be fair, one thing that's hurt Tannehill also this year is that he's had that ankle sprain.
Yes.
And you can tell that's bothering him. Hell, he was limping around last game. Which, and I'm not saying no. If they can get Aaron Rodgers, they're going to take Aaron Rodgers over Tannehill. Don't get me wrong.
They've got a pretty good franchise. They've got a good coach.
I ain't gonna lie. Bring Aaron Rodgers to the Colts. You want to keep getting these older quarterback? Bring Aaron Rodgers to the Colts with the defense we have and the running game we can have. If we get another receiver, we could be looking pretty damn good.
I agree.
I don't think it'll happen, but you never know. Though.
Might depend on what coach you bring in.
Yep, that's true. That is true. Did you have anything else?
Nope. If you want me to, I can go over my NHL real quick again because it was tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll recap tonight's and then I'll recap the weekend stuff.
Okay, I got Colorado moneyline win at the Sabres. I've got the Tampa Bay Lightning moneyline win at the Philadelphia Flyers, and I got Vegas Golden Knights moneyline win at the Pittsburgh Penguins.
That's NHL for Thursday, December 1st.
Yep.
My picks for tonight. NFL, I like the Bills -3.5,
I have that also.
And the over to 43.5 in that game. In NBA tonight, Mavs -8, and then in NCAA basketball tonight, Kansas -10.5 against Seton Hall, Connecticut -8.5 against Oklahoma State, and Texas -6.5 against Creighton, and UCLA -6.5 against Stanford. On Friday, NBA games. I like the Nuggets over the Hawks money line and the Nets money line over the Raptors. And then in college football on Friday, USC -2.5 against Utah.
I have that also. Same thing. The college football game.
And then Saturday, college football on Saturday. Again, we're giving out our picks for Saturday and Sunday because there will be no Easy Money show on Friday. We'll be back on Monday. We'll be traveling tomorrow to go do a live pro wrestling show. I'll talk a little bit more about that before we get off air. But on Saturday, I like TCU -2.5 against Kansas State, Michigan at the -16.5 against Purdue, North Carolina +7.5 against Clemson, and LSU and Georgia over 51.
These are my picks for Saturday college football. I've got I'm taking Toledo at Ohio, and I'm gonna take Ohio win money line. I got Kansas. I'm gonna take Kansas State plus the 2.5 at TCU. I've got Central Florida at Tulane. I'm gonna take Tulane -4. I've got LSU plus 18.5 at Georgia, and I got Purdue at Michigan. I'm gonna take Michigan the -16.5.
And then NFL on Sunday, I have the Texans +7.5 against the Browns. Or +7 against the Browns. I don't know why I said half. Texans +7 against the Browns. Broncos and Ravens under 39.5. Steelers and Falcons. I like the Falcons on the money line. I like the Titans +4.5 against the Eagles. And I like the under the 44.5 in that game. And then I like the Colts +10.5 at the Cowboys.
Okay, my Sunday NFL picks. So I got Cleveland -7 at Houston. I've got the Jets at Minnesota. I'm going to take Minnesota -3. I got the Tennessee Titans +4.5 at the Eagles. And I'm taking the Chargers -1 at the Raiders.
And then yesterday, my picks were 7 and 3. I know
I stunk. I was 4 and 5.
Yeah, but you've hit a couple parlays this week.
Yeah, I
so,
have.
I mean,
I was 2 and 1. I do pretty good on my NHL. I was 2 and 1 on my NHL today, and I hit one earlier the week.
So I mean, our picks have been doing pretty good because I know if you go over the last couple of weeks, you've hit 3 or 4 parlays, and I've had pretty good records. There was one day I didn't do good at all, but we've been doing pretty good. Like, let's see, what would that mean? Monday I was 6 and 6. I didn't have a good day on Monday, but I had a real good day yesterday. Tuesday wasn't a bad day either. Tuesday I had a winning record. So anytime you're winning more, you're picking more right than not, you're doing pretty good in sports betting. Before we get out of here, first of all, we appreciate everybody watching. Like I said, no show tomorrow, no show Friday, December 2nd. We'll be on the road to Cincinnati, Ohio for Cincy Wrestling Holiday Havoc. Dan the Beast Severn is going to be on the show. Zachary Wentz is going to be on the show. Wasn't there somebody else that been in on one of the TV shows?
There's been there's several guys.
Yeah.
You got
Mickey
Mickey
Midas.
He's been on AEW Dark. They got several big stars.
Going to be a great
there.
card. Then you got the Blake Money Right Thunder Open Challenge presented by Thunder and Blunder and GWR. Yep. That's going to be awesome. We're not sure who's going to accept that challenge. I know Blake said last night he was hoping it'd be Dan the B7 would accept that. He named off a couple other people too. I think Zachary Wentz was one of them.
Aaron Williams has been a mainstay on the independent scene for a long time. He's great.
So man, it's going to be an awesome show, and then we're going to be traveling down there. We'll be airing it live tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can find it YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter at Gonzo Sports Room and at the All Sports All Plays Network. And then on Sunday, we'll be in Greenfield, Indiana for Summit Pro Wrestling. It's TJ Kemp's retirement show. It should be a great show. It starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll also be live streaming that live on Gonzo Sports Room and All Sports All Plays, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. You have Calvin Tankman and Hillbilly Jed in the last man standing match. That's going to be awesome. And then, of course, you have TJ Kemp's last match. Not sure who he's going to be wrestling against, but should be I'm sure it's going to be a great match. You have the first time ever Don't Die Miles against Del Patrick's. Yep. I think that's going to be an interesting match. And then you also have the championship match with Alice Crowley.
Yes.
One of our favorites to watch.
She was on AEW. She was taped, but she'll be on AEW Dark probably next week.
Yep.
It'll be shown next week, but she was there live in Indianapolis on
AEW Dark. And last night on AEW Dynamite, there were some of the wrestlers that are on some of the shows we went to were extras and and other stuff last night. So Eric Dillinger was on there and stuff. So it's pretty cool to see some of these guys that we actually talked to, and a lot of them we became friends with. Yes. And to see these guys reaching some of their goals is pretty cool. Like Blake Money Right. He's one of the better ones around. I'm really looking forward to that tomorrow night. See who accepts that challenge, and I think it's going to be a great match. I'm looking forward to that show in Cincinnati. From everything I've looked at, it looks like it might be a sellout.
Real close. It sounds like.
So I'm really looking forward to that. But we appreciate everybody watching. Tonight's picks, I'll go over them again real quick. Bills -3.5 and over to 43.5 in NFL. Mavs -8 in the NBA. College basketball, Kansas -10.5. Connecticut -8.5. Texas -6.5. And UCLA -6.5. That's the Thursday picks. You got anything else?
No. You doing a show tonight? 11?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Damien, I was actually earlier when we were talking about him, I figured that was going to happen because of the active warrant. But breaking news: AB is in a standoff with police in Florida. He has an active warrant for a battery charge on that happened on November 28th. That report came out this morning. Damien is saying that now they're in a standoff with the police. It's crazy to see the fall this guy has went. I mean, he was one of the best receivers in the game. He has all kinds of ability. I just wish the guy, like I said earlier, get some help.
Well, hopefully, he's in a standoff. You don't know what's going to happen.
Hopefully it ends well.
Everybody ends up safe.
Yeah,
no problems.
Like I said earlier, I just want to see the guy to get help. I don't care if he ever plays in the NFL again, but I'd like to see the guy get help and be able to live a good life. I mean, I don't know if it's been CTE. No, he hasn't been. It seems like he hasn't been the same since he took that big hit from Burfict.
It could be that. It could be drugs. It could be many things. You just don't know.
You just don't know. But it's sad to see because he has so. I mean,
he needs some help.
He has so much talent, and he could still be a great player in the NFL if he could get his life together.
He's got to get his life together.
He just ain't been able to. So yeah, we hope everybody. Hopefully that ends where everybody's safe because sometimes that stuff standoffs can end in tragedy, and I'd hate to see that. I haven't seen nothing come up about it yet. But me and Jay talked about it on the afternoon show about about him having a warrant, active warrant. So I was wondering if when they went and got him, if it was going to be a big deal. I was hoping it wasn't going to be, but yeah, it was some kind of battery charge on the 28th. And they didn't go into a whole lot of detail of it. But like I said, we appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, at Gonzo Sports Room and at the All Sports All Plays Network. It really helps us out. Like and follow us: Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. You can find all the information about all of our shows on all of our social media accounts at Gonzo Sports Room and at the All Sports All Plays. We'll be having a special show tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern, with Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk tonight at 11. We're going to do a show tonight since we won't be able to do one Friday tomorrow night because I'll be hopefully at 11. I'll be heading back this way. But we'll see. If I think it's going to be a little past. I think it's going to be close to midnight before we get out of there.
Yeah.
But like I said, we appreciate everybody watching. Like I said, if you're just joining the show, we gave out picks for tonight. Gave them out picks for Friday and Saturday and Sunday since there won't be a show tomorrow. So go back, listen to the show. Hope you guys have some luck with the picks. But we will see you. We will see you guys back with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show on Monday. Hope everybody has a great weekend and enjoy the sports that are going on. And stay safe. This is a crazy world. Stay safe. And like I said, I hope the AB situation ends in a way that everybody is safe. We'll see you guys Monday.